sometimes when my wife had a bad day or we were both just feeling kind of meh, I joke that we could sell everything, move to a country where the cost of living was low, and live like kings. I'd say this flippantly, without any real seriousness. It's like buying a lottery ticket. You don't buy a lottery ticket because you think you're going to win the lottery. What I'm buying is the opportunity to daydream. It's the same with throwing around the idea of living carefree in a foreign country. I never actually thought that it was actually going to happen. Until now. By day, I'm a high school teacher. I teach filmmaking, nothing too hardcore like math or physics or anything. I only mention this fact because it explains what I was doing in Europe last year with 40 teenagers. Now, going to Europe with 40 teenagers isn't what most people would consider an ideal traveling experience. I get that, but it's travel. And though I've always had a desperate desire to travel, I've had too few opportunities to do so. So that's the only reason that explains what I was doing on a boat in the canals of Amsterdam with 40 jet-lagged teenagers. Had I not been on a boat with 40 jet-lagged teenagers, I could have been doing other things in Amsterdam or Paris or London. But the trip was free to me, and beggars can't be choosers. And in this case, I was very much a beggar. I was literally just along for the ride. When I came back from Europe, in addition to having a newfound appreciation for a good jambon bar, I thought to myself, maybe there would be a way to go to Europe and teach there. I had a colleague who taught in the Netherlands for 4 years, and he absolutely loved it. He traveled all over Western Europe during his time there, and he really, really didn't want to come back to Canada. But he was on a secondment, which is kind of like a teacher loan, and the clock had run out. I have a bit less than 7 liters of maple sap here, which means I should get just a second here. Alexa, what is 7,000 divided by 40?
7,000 divided by 40 is 175.
175 millimeters of sap, which is about 3/4 cup. So I started doing my research. I talked to everyone, and I obviously started by contacting my colleague who was living in the Netherlands. And it's an interesting school run by Canada's Department of National Defense, but I was hesitant about Europe. Europe, especially Western Europe, has many things, but cheap it is not. We were trying to get away from the cost of living here in Canada. It keeps climbing. It's getting pretty high. Stressful. I mentioned my plan to a colleague of mine I sometimes carpooled with. He loved to travel. And before having kids, he and his wife made 2 month-long trips. They're also teachers, so, all summer. One time, they went to Peru. The other time, they went to Vietnam. Both times, they absolutely adored their trip. So he was a very receptive audience for the idea of, hey, how about we do something with our life that isn't just work and get to work and get the kids ready for school, etc., etc. The daily grind. It'd be a great opportunity for my family and I to live abroad and really experience a place, full immersion. Yeah. And, while we're there, obviously, we're just going to travel like crazy. Everywhere. Well, everywhere in the area. I mean, I'm no millionaire. There's a woman who was in the military band with me, and I'm pretty sure that she teaches in Vietnam or something. Yeah. I swear not everything is going to come back to the Canadian military. These are just coincidences. Promise. Okay? Just hang in there. I could put you in contact with her if you'd like. I would like very, very much. Gotta say, kinda jealous. So after speaking with Max, a few Facebook messages later, and I was speaking with Alana, a fellow Canadian teacher who has been in Vietnam now for a few years. She teaches music over there. She loves her life over there. And as far as I could tell, she has no plans on moving back to Canada. It was Alana who clued me into the way to get a job in an international school, which is through Search Associates or Scroll, which are just basically like kind of online job banks for international school teaching positions. If you're interested, I've put the links to both below. And if anybody else is interested, I can also make a video on, those sites and how I went about getting a job. Might not be the ideal way, but it is a way. It was also thanks to this call with Alana that I managed to convince my wife that we would leave the Canadian life we had always known in order to move to and work in a country we never even visited. And thanks to that call with Alana, and thanks to the whole process of getting a job in an international school, we are now going to live a 2-year adventure of what I hope will be a all-out, epic, go-for-broke Southeast Asian adventure. See that? See that? Perfectly cooked. I never had the opportunity to be a backpacking 18-year-old being tortured by Dutch businessmen in a Slovakian hostel, or to, find a hidden beach oasis in Thailand populated by Tilda Swinton and some murderous drug lords. That has not been my experience in life. But I'm wondering if being a 40-year-old semi-permanent traveler with job security, and even more important, with loved ones that I can share these adventures with, I'm wondering if that might be even better. So that's what this vlog is hopefully going to be all about. Going from here, our life in Canada, me as a Canadian teacher in Canada, to me being a teacher elsewhere, and traveling. A lot, hopefully. For now, though, I'm going to put this maple syrup away.